Make sure your name's at the top. We started some order of operations yesterday, but I thought we better backtrack a little bit because some of you were struggling with exponents and other things. So, exponent review. Remember, the base is the factor that's repeatedly multiplied, and the exponent tells us how many times the base is used as a factor. So if I have 2 to the third factor, or 2 to the power of 3, or 2 to the third, or 2 cubed, that means we have it 3 times. Hey, I said it right on that little table there. Thank you.
Thank you.
So expanded form means that we wrote it out. How many times do I have it? 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So the value is what results from that. Does everybody have this?
I already have them.
We're okay? All right, good. So what's the base here? Yeah, do you know when that's oh,
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. What's the base here? 4. What's the base here?
5.
Pay attention, guys. What's the base here? 10. What's the base here? What's the base here? What's the base here? Is that easy enough? So what's the exponent here? What's the exponent here? There's entirely too much talking. Our voices should be off. We should be writing. We should be paying attention. What's the exponent here?
4.
And here? And here? And here? All right. What does the exponent tell us? How many times we have that factor? So how many times do I have the factor of 4? So I'm writing it 2 times. I'm going to use a dot instead of an X because we're big kids now. What's 4 times 4? First one done. All right. How many times do I have a factor of 5?
3 times.
1, 2, 3. I'm putting a dot in between. It is not 75. 5 times 5 is 25 times 5. Think about quarters. That's $1.25, right? 125. How many factors of 10 do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Does anybody remember the shortcut for tens? When 10 is our base, our exponent tells us how many zeros we have. So how many zeros are in my final? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget your 1. 10,000. Expanded form. How many 2's do I have? 3, 4, 5. This is 4. This is 4. What's 4 times 4? 16 times 2? 32. That took a little bit more effort, right? How many 6's do I have? I've got 3. Get your eyes checked. So what is 36 times 6? 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3 is 21. So 36 times 6 was 216. Bless you, I think. I've got 4 factors of 3. I like to figure out what I can do first, right? We know 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 times 9 we know is 81. All right, does that make sense for exponents? All right. Page 4. You can do this. You're going to write it in expanded form and then the answer. Then be careful here, right? -3 times -3 is what? What, Adriana? Quickly, hustle. This is not -9. When our signs are the same, our answer is positive. Now remember, this is the opposite of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It's a little bit different. If it has parentheses in it, holding on to that negative is part of our factor. If it does not, we're taking the opposite of that. So be careful when you do that, okay? I want you to try 4. We're going to go over it in just a few minutes. Not sure why this is labeled page 4. I guess we don't have pages 1 and 2. That's okay. All right, most of you are wrapping up. I'm going to try and catch up. Guys, what's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1? Make sure you're not adding those up. What's 2 times 2 times 2? It is not 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 would be 6, but 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 would be 8. So be careful. 8. What's 6 times 6? How many zeros does my final answer need? Good. Be careful. It's not 3 times 3. It's 3 times 3, which is 9, times another 3, which makes 9 times 3, 27. This is not 3 times 2. It's 3 times 3, which is 9. We just did this one. This is 4. This is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. All right, your negatives do get a bit trickier for sure. So we have this in parentheses. So -1 is our factor. Is this +1 or -1? Careful. Negative times a negative is positive. Negative times a negative is positive. Positive times a positive is positive. So this is just +1. If I have an even number of negatives, when I'm multiplying, my answer is going to be positive. If I have an odd number of negatives, my answer is going to be negative. If you need to do it step by step, that's fine. What's -2 times -2?
4.
4, not -4, +4. Negative times a negative is positive. So 4 times -2 makes it a -8 because we have positive times a negative. We figured out what 2 to the 4th power was up here. We said it was 16. That negative means we're taking the opposite of that. What's the opposite of 16? What's the opposite of 16? -16. Guys, it's important you know that terminology. So now we have the opposite of 10 times 10. Well, what's 10 times 10? 100. What's the opposite of 100? -100. Here we have the opposite of 3 times 3 times 3. We know what 3 times 3 times 3 is. 3 times 3 times 3 was 27. What's the opposite of 27? Good. So that's what happens when we add negatives. If it's inside the parentheses, that negative is part of our factor. If it's outside of it, we need to figure out our factors and then take the opposite of it. All right. Order of operations. We started this yesterday, right? So these are a little bit simpler than we even did yesterday. Let's recall. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Remember, we multiply and divide from left to right, and we add and subtract from left to right. So first we're finding parentheses. Then we're doing exponents. Then we're multiplying and dividing from left to right. Then we're adding and subtracting from left to right. All right. So what do we do with number 1 first? Let's do the odds together. What do I do first for number 3? So this is 7 times 7. Plus the 1 is what? Hey guys, your voices should be off. You should be focused with us. What do you need, Eli? Not right now. I was told noon. Yep. What is 6 times 9? 54. Good. 62. That one's a little tricky. What's 12 times 11? 11 times 12 is 132. Guys, your voices need to stay off.
Attention students and staff of Dr. Flicker. At this time, we are going to begin a drill, a lockdown drill, and then I want to use this as a lockdown drill. Staff, please initiate lockdown procedures for the drill. Thank you.
Voices stay off. Get comfortable.
Attention students and staff, this is Dr. Littner again. While we are still in the drill at this point, we will move to secure mode, suspend student movement, but you come out of the corners. We will stay in our learning spaces and classrooms. No one leaves just yet while we finish that security check. Again, we are still in the drill, it's a time, secure mode, suspend student movement. Thank you.
Guys, when we have addition and subtraction, do we always do addition first? No, only when it's on the left. Good. So we're gonna do it from left to right. But first, we've got to add 7 to this. Sorry, I forgot. So 7 plus 132 is 139. What's 20 plus 16? 36 minus 15? 21. This one's got a bit more to it. What do I do first? Which is 6. So 9 times 6 divided by 6. What's 9 times 6? 54 divided by 6 is 9. All right. We have about 15 minutes. I'd like you to be sure you at least do the evens here. At least complete the evens here. Tomorrow we will continue on page 7 and 8. So be sure these are put safely with your other order of operations.